Good afternoon. This is not Pete's Purple Tele, but it is a T-style guitar in my custom body shape, and it is the Danish Pete signature set of pickups from Monty's Guitars, so it's as close as I own to Pete's Purple Tele. There's not much to say about this that you won't already know if you've seen the videos about the process of making my custom guitars. Obviously, the major difference with this one is it's for a T-style control layout and pickup set. I picked the Danish Pete set by the simple process of it was in stock and it looked cool when I was on Andertons website. Obviously, I was aware of Pete's Purple Telecaster from before. I wanted a T-style in a Telecaster pickup set in my custom body style, because although I have still got the T-style guitar with the EMGs I showed you before, obviously that is a full T-style body, and I wanted it in the lightweight style that I can wear. The colour scheme of purple is not actually because it's Pete's Purple Tele, or not only because of that. When I was shopping for pickups, the only colourway Andertons had in stock was the gold pickup, which has obviously the gold cover on the neck pickup. I wasn't initially aiming to buy a gold pickup, but since that was the only colour they had in stock and I'm impatient, too impatient to wait the 3 days for them to back order the silver one, I thought, okay, I'll just buy that then, and I will then have to get gold hardware for everything else. So this guitar has gold tuners, gold string roller trees, golden frets, gold bridge, gold control plate knobs, gold locking straps. I do not have a gold cable to use, but the output jack is also indeed gold. So pretty much everything on the front of the guitar that could reasonably be gold tone is. I even have the sort of compensated brass saddles which look approximately gold tone. So this is as blinged with gold as I feel able to get it. I suppose I could have done a brass nut, but I actually don't particularly like the tone. So in the spirit of having different feels for my guitars, they all have different neck profiles on them. I mentioned some of this as we were going through them earlier. This one I asked Warmouth to make the chonkiest neck that's known to mankind, and it really is fat. So if you look at a normal Fender style neck, you'll see that it tapers down to at the what we call the volute area, into the where it merges from the back of the neck into the headstock, and it also tapers from the back of the neck into where the pocket is. Now on this neck, it is just a straight line. Like the deepest part of the wood is the back of the neck all the way up. There's no volute to speak of. There's no curve here as it gets into the pocket. It is just full depth the whole way. So as thick as you could make in this sort of standard Fender neck style process. I was worried a bit about getting one this girthy, because would I be able to do that D over F sharp with the thumb over the top. And the answer is yes, I can. I mean, that's not necessarily the greatest version of that chord, but it's not out of line for the other guitars that I've got. My skill is the problem, not the neck particularly. I do feel like I'm fighting against the neck in some ways, but I actually want some kind of struggle, it turns out, with the guitar to provoke me to play it in a different way. Otherwise, what's the point of having all of these guitars? For me, that's how I think about it. The purple finish was because, like, with all this gold on it, I thought that's all very, royalty, and what's the royal colour is purple, so I should paint the body purple. And the fact that it also refers to Pete's Purple Tele is a nice side effect. Now on this body, I was doing some experiments for myself. I didn't use pore filler on this. I wanted to know what would happen, if I'd be able to see more of the wood grain through the paint. if I didn't do that. I think you can a little bit make out the grain, but it's not actually more pronounced than it is on, say, the yellow S-type. And so I don't think it really enhanced that. And it does have problems on the end grain that the paint just hasn't played nicely there. So I learned that I wouldn't probably want to do that again, but it's not annoying me to the level where I want to go and refinish this guitar. I'm happy to keep it around. I was also experimenting with the machining plane, because obviously to do this style with no pick guard, you can't do any extra cuts on the front. And then, as you might imagine that getting the wire from here to this control cavity is somewhat technically difficult, and you would be correct if that's what you're thinking. So what I did was I thought, okay, I don't want to drill that because I've not had a good track record with doing that, and because it's the last process you would do on making the guitar, it'd be a stressful thing to do, and I'd rather just not have that stress in my life. So what I'll do is I will use my CNC router to cut the connection slot from here to here, and the connecting slot from the bridge area to the pick guard thing, which has to intersect with the output jack. I'll leave as much wood as I can on the back, and if it starts, obviously I can put a cover plate on those bits if I feel like I want to, but as this is just an experimental guitar and intended for me only, I have not yet done that. I also spoke in the past about what happens if you mess up or your CNC machine messes up. This divot here in the rear is the kind of thing that happens when you get something wrong, and so I've lost like a $0.25 sized, or 10p if you're not familiar with what a $0.25 is, or I have no idea what that is in euro coins, sorry. But that kind of size of missing wood, because I only spotted the machine was doing the wrong thing when it started carving the wrong shape into the piece of wood, and that's when I hit the emergency stop button and recovered it. So because this guitar is only, for me, it's not something I'm trying to sell to other people, I'm not distraught about that. It's just a reminder of the need for constant vigilance when you're CNCing. This time I committed to only having 3 screws holding on the neck, rather than having the 4th hole and not bothering to put something in it. I thought, just don't even carve it. I've had no problems with tuning stability or neck security on this guitar. The only other thing of note on here is I do have 4-way switching, so I've got bridge both in parallel, neck both again but in series, which is a kind of slightly hotter sound. Because it is Danish Pete's set and because it is a purple Telecaster, I want to make a few references to Danish Pete. So I can't believe anyone would be watching my low subscriber count videos about how to make guitars and be unaware of who Danish Pete is. But just in case you are somehow unaware, he's a touring and session guitarist. He's extremely talented. He's very well known for his looper work. He's done, must be thousands of videos at this point for Andertons TV. He has his own YouTube channel. I'll link all of those things below. He's not going to appear in this video, but I'm sure if he were here, he would remind you to like, comment and subscribe. He's been on his channel talking about different ways of practicing, and he's an expert, as I've said, in the use of loopers. I am not good enough at timekeeping to use a looper in the way that he does. But what I found with this crazy preset is if you want to do it, it's a mid-gain amplifier with quite a lot of gain and an overdrive pedal, and then a huge amount of ping pong delay and reverb. And I'm using the ping pong delay as a way of giving me a beat to try and keep to. It's not like there's drums there or a bass track or a backing track. You produce it yourself, in that the noise you make will come back at you several times and tail off. The other thing with it is, being a fairly high gain preset, every interaction you have with the guitar is going to matter. So I was having all kinds of ambient fun pulling my finger along the strings to make a the noise of finger moving over the strings and hearing how that echoes and what I can do percussively with that. So I'm going to play that kind of thing. I'm very nervous about putting this on the internet. I do not know if this stuff counts as experimental or if it's just terrible. The mentality I'm trying to have is it doesn't matter right now as I'm playing, it's just what seems like the thing to do in the moment, and if anyone else likes it at all, that's cool. If you find that you're not enjoying it, then please go do something else. Don't torture yourself. Thank you for watching thus far. You've been given fair warning about what's about to happen, I think, and so it's your responsibility now if you hear the rest of this. As you can hear there, I was doing okay with the timekeeping, and then I lost it and it sounded terrible. So I think as a way of practicing playing in time with something, this is working quite effectively. As I say, I'm not going to claim it's the best idea I've ever had, but it does seem to be working. Anyway, back to the random noises. couldn't tell when that note ended because my PC's fans are also in E apparently. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series on the guitars I've previously built. There will be one more episode on guitars I built that I don't have anymore, and then there'll be an episode on what I'm working on right now in terms of guitar building. I hope you've enjoyed this. Amazed if anyone makes it to the end of this episode with all of that cacophony you've just heard. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.